Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is Wild Wednesday already. Holy crap, it is hump day. It's hard to believe it's already that the week is just flying by. Hopefully each and every one of you are having a great week so far. We got Christmas coming up here next week. I hope each and every one of you are with some loved ones and doing something great. Maybe watch a good movie, whatever it is you do to make yourself happy. Hopefully you get to do it on coming up here next week. Today's a great film. I would say a silly film. It's one that we watched the other night. I think it was. We watched it Monday night. Yes, that's when it was. There's things about it that are very memorable, and there's things about it that are easily forgettable. There's some fun stuff about it, but all in all, it should have been a little differently. It has a lot of CGI in it, and that kind of turned me off a little bit. Although some of it did look pretty cool, and it's from 2015. It's only rocking a PG-13 rating on there. Honestly, it could probably almost pass as an R because there's swearing in it, and there's also some decent gore in there. But there's a lot of young juvenile humor in it as well. There's something there for everyone in this one. I would give it an R rating, though. And it's starring Adam Scott, Toni Collette, which both of them, they're usually pretty good. I love Adam Scott in Step Brothers. One of my favorite out of Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly's films. And it's got Toni Collette, who is always great in whatever she's in. Usually it's stuff that I don't watch. It's like chick flicks, rom-coms, which isn't really my forte. We also got David Koechner, who is always great in everything he does. I eventually want to review Cheap Thrills, which is an awesome one that he did. It's one that I've seen quite a few times, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about it too often, but it once in a while gets thrown out there, as it should, because it's a very it's a good film. I'll just give it that. Who else we got in here? Alice Tollman, Conchata Ferrell, Emjay Anthony, Stefania, LaVie, Owen, and Krista Stadler. Directed by Michael Dougherty, who did Trick or Treat. And this is none other than Krampus, or Krampus, if however you want to pronounce it on yours. I'm just going to go by the Americanized version of it, and Krampus. What a silly, fun little film, one you can watch year after year and be okay with. It's a nice addition to the Christmas horror genre, which doesn't have enough films in it. I feel like, although the last few years it has really risen and in just an insane increase of the holiday genre horror films. If not even that, stuff that is, I don't know if you classify it as horror, but stuff in the middle of winter, like things like Dead Snow or Frozen. Do you count stuff like that? Black Sun, Men Behind the Sun 1 and 2. Those both technically take place during wintertime and over the Christmas season. Do you count those? I think deep down in a dark side we could, but I don't know if I'd want to do that to myself every year for the holiday season. This I totally could. Not that I'm not into those kind of films. I watch Men Behind the Sun once every couple of years. Black Sun, the same thing, because they're both very brutally tough, hard films to make it through. And for me, it's nothing anymore, because I've seen so much dark, demented things that it's nothing new. So this one is it's super light compared to that stuff, but it's still extreme enough for the mainstream fans, I feel like. It's basically about a kid that his family is they hate each other pretty much. They're just not wanting to spend time with each other on Christmas. The only people that that seem to be interested in Christmas is the young child played by Emjay Anthony, him and his grandmother, which I believe that was oh shoot, she might have been Stefania LaVie Owen. No, that ain't her because that's the daughter, I believe. But anyways, it doesn't matter at this point. The grandson and the grandmother are the only ones that are showing any kind of interest towards Christmas. And so he gives up after everybody just basically dumps all over him, shits all over him, and treats him like he's just a little basic child because he still wants to believe. He knows that Santa Claus doesn't exist, but he still wants that joy of like when he was a kid. He still wants the happiness of Christmas to still be there. And that fades away. He gets angry and he wishes upon the Christmas. His Christmas miracle wish was for everyone to go away and be back to the way they used to be. Now, that's when Krampus, the Christmas demon, or whatever you want to call it, Krampus, shows up. It's slow. He has a lot of weird little creatures. Like there's little gingerbread men that use candy canes to stab people with. You got a weird Jack in the Box that is just got a gnarly set of teeth. You've got the angel from the top of the tree that's got its own thing, a demonic thing going. It is just one hell of a ride, and it's fun. Not for everyone, like most of my films that I watch and review on here. I try to do a little bit of everything, as far as like if it reaches the horror genre a little bit, maybe even some horror comedies I'll do. I eventually will do Neighbors, the John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd film. That one's a great one. Let me know if you guys feel like I should do that one. That one's a fun little film. It's got really dark aspects to it. It's definitely, I would say, a horror comedy in ways. Now, as far as like any kind of ratings back to the story, I forgot. He's got all these little minions to help him. One of the first people to disappear is Adam Scott and Toni Collette's oldest daughter. She disappears and is taken away by Krampus and his minions. Both Adam Scott and David Koechner decide they're going to be heroes and do what dads do in the middle of crisis and come ahead and take charge of the fact and try to find the child. And in the middle of all of this, David Koechner's son gets taken by Krampus, and he is taken by. It's kind of silly and fun. Krampus sends down a hook and chain, kind of like a fishing hook, with a gingerbread man on it, and the little kid comes over and grabs the gingerbread and eats it, and the next thing you know, he's hooked and taken up to Krampus. So there's fun little things like that. I don't want to give too much more away about things that happen in the film, because it is one of those that it has so much going on, and it is a fun movie. I highly recommend checking it out for those of you that want to watch a good holiday horror. I know they're not for everyone. Some people just are not fans of holiday horror at all. Now on to a rating for this one. It is a pretty pretty polished film. I don't really notice anything really bad. There's some silly little plot holes here and there, but nothing too major to make you turn you off to watching this film. It's still made very well. I would probably go down a path on the 1 through 5. I'm going to give it, on a technical side, a 3. You know, it's middle of the road there. It's fun. Like I said, there's no huge plot holes. There's the acting is pretty well done. There's some sweet cameras stuff working on here. Visually, it's nice because you have all the snow, and it makes you feel cold because of how much snow and how windy and how brutal the weather looked in this film. And they did a great job making things look that way on a set, because this was all filmed on a set like 93%, like right around in that. There was a lot of this done on a film studio, on a sound stage, which you can, if you watch enough films, you can kind of figure that out, which is and what's not by today's standards. A lot of times the sound stages are just a little too perfect, which is, it's okay, you know. I'm okay with that. I went through play production when I was in high school, and we tried to make our sets look as pristine as stuff like that, even though we were just punk high school kids. Now, like I said, 3 on that. I'm going to go ahead and set this down. We don't need to hold it anymore. I like to show you guys the thing. I just like to show off the release so that way you guys know what to look for if you decide to go out and buy a copy of this film. This one does come on Blu-ray, I do believe. I'm almost positive it does. I just have a DVD of it because I collect DVDs mostly. I only get Blu-rays for stuff that I really, really, really want. Stuff that I hold near and dear to my heart. You know, I'm not going to get a upgrade for every single film I have. You know, there's ones that I feel don't deserve it, you know. So, on the entertainment side, we're going to give it another 3. I want to overall give this film a 5, though, because it is a middle-of-the-road film. There's nothing that's going to, like, blow your mind, like I said. It will, the heck? It will change some things on how you look at Christmas a little bit. Not quite enough to change it to where you're, I guess your belief is different. I don't know. I rambled on that. So let's just give this a 5 overall. Call it good. So we'll give it 2.5 and a 2.5 and call it a 5. There we go. That's what we'll do. Nice middle of the road. It's the one thing that cracks me up. It has this lame catchphrase up here. You better watch out. How many different Christmas horror movies or horror movies in general have that stinking phrase? It is just, oh, it's been played out, folks. I'm so sorry to say that. Alright, guys, I'm rolling up on that 14-minute mark. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Please like, share, and subscribe as always. I will be here tomorrow with, I'm not 100% what film I'm going to do. I might do another Christmas horror, but I'm not 100%. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do a regular movie or a Christmas horror? I always like to hear your guys' opinions. Alright, guys. Love your faces as always, and peace.